Creek Cuddle Survival Instructor with AnsDepot.com. We did a whole series on natural navigation using nothing but the stuff that's growing out here, moss, tree branches, how the sun affects hillsides and stuff like that. It prompted another question on how to determine where water might be based upon vegetative growth. And so what I'm going to do is run around out here in the woods today and find water. There went my headphones. And find some indicators of where water might be and try to show you on camera how to see those things in your natural environment. Glad you're with us. The first one I'm going to show you today on how to find water is going to be the hardest one to see. I'm going to show you some easier ones in just a moment, so bear with me. But one of the things that I was blessed to have is that when I first got this farm, I don't own this farm now, this belongs to a friend of mine, but when I first bought it, I sold it to him. I entered into some stewardship programs with the state of Kentucky to bring wildlife habitat improvement and forestry improvements to this particular farm. And so I spent a ton of time out here with those foresters and those wildlife biologists, and they taught me so much. Those are really cool guys and gals that do that sort of work. One of the things they taught me is right behind me, and that is, if you can tell, coming right down from left to right and the way you're looking at it is a drainage. And this tree that's directly behind me, right over top of my head right here, the big one, that is a white oak tree. These other oak trees that surround it are all chestnut oak trees. And what was indicated to me by the foresters is that white oaks need and want a lot more water than a chestnut oak. And so basically, that's why this white oak is set up shop right here in this drainage. And the chestnut oaks are basically everywhere else. And as you walk this farm, the farther you get down the hill and the closer you get to water, you'll find more white oaks rather than you will on the top of the hills. And so basically, if you are in an area and you can see off in the distance a stand of trees that look like white oaks, there's a better possibility that there's going to be more water there. That's because either there's a water source nearby, a creek, river, whatever, or it's because that particular area does not drain real well, and the earth holds the moisture real well, therefore the white oaks like it. In an area where it drains really quickly and the water is removed rather fast as soon as it rains, white oaks are not necessarily going to like that part of the world that much, so the chestnut oaks, who don't necessarily want as much water, are going to set up shop. So this tree right here is a sycamore tree. It's another good indicator of water. These trees absolutely love to grow on water, and so the reason I like these in particular is I'm going to get up on the camera and pan up so you can see the top of this tree, because it's really bright white, and all sycamore species are like that. It looks like the bark's falling off the tree and like it's sick, but it's not. It's the way the tree grows. So the reason I like that is because you can look out into a forested area, and if you look out, you can see several, these grow together a lot, and so you'll see several sycamore trees growing together. That's an indicator of water, and so you can walk that direction and find water. Another species that's really cool to note and really easy to find is a sycamore tree, and I'm gonna get back on the camera and show you some very specific aspects of this tree that make it good for you to know. This tree loves to grow around water and will most often be really close to water. Right behind me here is a drainage. It's got water that is not necessarily perennial, but it's pretty wet, and there's a pond on the other side of that as well. So this tree is going to love water, and it's real easy to see. When I back out, I'll point out to you why, because it's basically white at the top, and so as I look out through this forested area, I can see sycamore trees in a drainage pretty easily, and if I'm seeing sycamore trees, I'll go that direction looking for water. So here it is again. This is the base of the tree. It's got some really thin scaly bark on it, and then as you go up the tree, you'll notice that it looks like, for those that are not used to seeing these trees, like it's dying or something of that nature, but it's not. It's a very healthy tree, and the bark appears as if it's falling off, but there's still a very protective layer of bark on the outside. And as we get higher on this tree, you'll notice, particularly right in there and on up, if I can get the camera up there, sunlight's hitting it pretty good, so it might be hard to see, but that is bright white. And so that particular tree, again, is real easy to see when you're looking through a forest. You'll see the top of the tree. Now again, down here, for those that are not comfortable with looking at trees, it looks like any other tree. But again, that white portion is real easy to see for even those that are uninitiated into taking a look at trees. So one of the things that I want to point out is that oftentimes what I'm showing you is stuff that's found in the wilderness, but I'm showing you shot right here because I'm just right in the middle of a small town here in Kentucky, Winchester, and basically on the other side of a Lowe's, and those are houses that are basically off to my left. So you can find these type of things right in the middle of your town too. So basically what I have behind me that are indicators of water is this tree right here, and basically all these trees you can see behind me are willow trees, and willow trees are good indicators of water, as well as down behind me you can see a bunch of cattails. Cattails are another fine indicator of water as well. So if you can see those things, you've got some indicator that there is water nearby. Even if you cannot see it, it is something that you could dig for, create a seep hole, and then get water. So that's the end of our series on how to find water with trees. Until next time, I hope to see you on or...
Get out of here!
Oh gosh. Off the trail.